Hi. So today I need something from you. I need your opinion and your advice because I'm thinking about doing something that's going to be a lot of work. So I need to know first, should I create a new bisexual social group? Now, before you just say yes, because of course, why not? We need more groups. Da, 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 da. You probably should know a little about a background about me first. And I've told you this before. I started thinking of myself as bisexual decades ago, and then only months ago did I realize there's an actual bisexual community, which I joined, and it was wonderful. I was able for the very first time to meet people who could identify with my experiences and as being a bisexual person. It was awesome, and not being able to hide who I was. It was just great, and the people I met were so sweet and cool and nice, and it was really a very positive experience. But that wasn't the only reason why I joined the community. In fact, the main reason I joined the community was because I was looking for connection. Like, I was looking for romantic connections, and I was looking for like buddies, like someone I could really kind of connect with because, you know, hey, if I could find another bisexual that was like into the things I was into, that would just be freaking awesome, right? Right. Unfortunately, like after 4 months of being in the group, I realized that wasn't going to happen. There just wasn't anyone in the group that I could connect with. I found it sad. In fact, I even decided to go to this large bisexual conference in Minnesota that had hundreds of bisexuals at it. And I was really, really excited because I just was sure I was going to be able to make a connection there because it'd be bisexuals from all over the world, like the leaders and stuff like that. And I didn't. I really didn't. There was maybe one person, maybe, but honestly, nothing. And I came back and I started thinking, why? Why is this the case? Because I am bisexual. There's no question about it. And the people I was talking to were all bisexual. So why? And I started making videos. And you could see from like a certain section of videos where I was talking a lot about stats because I was trying to understand who I was and who the group was and who bisexuals were and all that stuff. And what I realized was that there was a difference. Like, you know the stat, like you see my video where I talk about otherwise straight bisexuals. I am an otherwise straight bisexual. I'm a bisexual that kind of reflects the majority, which is, the majority is 84% of bisexuals are in opposite sex relationships. In other words, they function well in straight life, they just have these other feelings, and other than those feelings, they're pretty much straight. Or another kind of more extreme version would be the mostly straight people. These are people who probably haven't had too many sexual experiences, but other than their desire to have sexual experiences or the desire to have like an emotional experience, they're mostly straight, right? And here's the thing. Whereas bisexuals outnumber gay and lesbians combined, mostly straight people outnumber bisexuals. So like bisexuals represent like 3% of the population, whereas mostly straight people represent like 3.5% of the population. But yet, mostly straight people, because they have the ability to have, you know, emotional or sexual or romantic connections or attractions to multiple genders, they fall within the bisexual spectrum. And so they just by themselves are the majority of bisexuals. By themselves, mostly straight are the majority. But yet, here's a secret. And I kind of like, I talked about this in other videos. I kind of like brushed it aside. I was kind of like hiding this fact, but it's true. Bisexual groups, I feel like they don't have a lot of mostly straight people in it. Who are the majority, they don't have a lot of mostly straight people in it. I found even a hard time finding people who would be like a 2 on the Kinsey scale. Like mostly straight people are 1s. 0s are people who have never had a gay thought in their life, and 6 is a person who has never had a straight thought in their life. So mostly straight are 1. Bisexuals really start like 2. And I felt like there, and this is just my experience, I felt like there weren't even many 2s in the group. I felt like the groups were mostly like 4s and 5s. Maybe 3s, and then 4s and 5s. There's a lot of polyamory talked about, at least in my group. A lot. Like, I feel like at least half the people there are polyamorous, whereas the minority of bisexuals are polyamorous, yet they're overrepresented in the groups. Also, I feel like at least half, if not much more, were queer identified, which is great. You know, they have somewhere they could feel at home and stuff like that. But, you know, as for a person who might be in the majority of the bisexual community, like, you know, the mostly straights and the people who are the twos, which represent probably 75% of those in the bisexual spectrum, more than 55% at all by themselves are mostly straight, so add a little more. So for like 75% of bisexuals who aren't polyamorous, who aren't queer, it's hard to find connection in the way bisexual groups are now. And again, let me tell you, the people I've met, all of them, just really cool, like really awesome people. But finding connection is really hard. So what I was thinking was perhaps what I should do, because I always say if there's a problem, then you go and you fix it. Maybe I should create a group for monogamous and monogamous striving, mostly straight and bi-curious and otherwise straight bisexuals who probably represent 75% of the bisexual population. Because shouldn't they have a place to find connection as well? And I understand that there's probably people screaming at the screen right now saying, but you're erasing polyamory and you're trying to erase queer people and queer experience and stuff like that. No, no, no. You know, I talk to many bisexual leaders, and what's kind of forefront on many of their minds are trying to increase the size of the bisexual community, getting bisexuals to engage in the community. But if the majority of groups cater to like maybe 3, 4s, and 5s of the bisexual community, yet the 75% of the bisexual communities are 1s, 2s, aren't you not creating atmospheres where the majority of bisexuals will feel like really comfortable and really a part of it? And I get it. I mean, hey, I'm black, so I get that gender politics matter. I get that. And I understand how marginalized people who are polyamorous feel and how, you know, people who are polyamorous need groups to belong. I get that. Same thing with queer folk. I get that. But if you're trying to expand the bisexual community, isn't the obvious thing just to cater to the people who are the majority? Because they're still bisexual. They're still bisexual, and they are still feeling isolated. So maybe I should create a group for them. What do you think? You tell me. I'm really interested in engaging in a conversation about this. Please put in the comment section below. I will read every comment. I'll probably reply to you. And then we're done with that. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, because as you know, I do a lot of videos on the bisexual topic, and there are probably going to be a few that you might find interesting. Till my next video, stay cooler, my bisexual friend. Stay cooler. Bye.